Hey y'all, my name is Faith Evelyn. This is my first YouTube video ever, so welcome. Today we are going to talk about pregnancy, a pregnancy chit chat. So I am currently 32, gonna be 33 weeks pregnant tomorrow with my first, and it is a boy. So in today's video, I'm just gonna talk about all things pregnancy. First, second, third trimester, break those down, gestational diabetes, the glucose test, prenatal Pilates, and more. So if you're interested, stay tuned. And if you like this video, even if you don't, I would greatly appreciate if you like, comment, and subscribe. So let's get into it. So we're gonna start with how I found out. So I think I found out around 6 weeks. At the time, I didn't think I had any. Looking back, I definitely did. But at the time, I didn't think I was pregnant. I actually was surprised when I found out. So prior to falling pregnant, I would get up at like 4 or 5 a.m. and go to the gym. And it just got extremely hard to get up in the morning. Now, it's already hard to get up at that time anyways, but I found it impossible to get up. So that's the first time. Looking back, I'm like, yeah, you were definitely pregnant, because I couldn't go anymore. I could not get up. I'd be at work finna fall asleep in my boots. Like, it was tough. The tiredness part, it was just super tough. So but I didn't think anything of it. I thought my period was coming. That's what I really thought, because it was around the time my period was supposed to be coming. My period never came. And I was only like 2 days late when my husband, he was like, you need to take a pregnancy test. Sorry, that's my dog in the back. I kind of have him in his crate, so he's not running around. But what's it called? He was like, you need to take a pregnancy test. He had a feeling. I had no feelings. I was like, it's not gonna be positive. I don't feel pregnant. It was positive, and I was like, oh dang. Well, I'm pregnant. So I called up various doctor's offices because I really wanted a black OBGYN. And at the time, we were living in Oklahoma City, and there's very, very few in Oklahoma. And the ones I called, unfortunately, weren't taking any new pregnant patients. So I just kind of got in where I could, and I wasn't too happy with the care that I ended up receiving from the doctor I ended up going to. That's for another day. They booked my appointment for 4 weeks out. And I personally feel like that's a little late for your first appointment. I felt like they should try to get you in as soon as possible, but I guess that's just how they do things. So I got in, and this is what typically happens at your first appointment. Oops, excuse me. So at your first appointment, you're gonna get an ultrasound, and if the baby is so small, they may do a transvaginal ultrasound. Fortunately, I didn't have to do that. He showed up pretty easily, and he was just this small little thing, but like he already had like some legs and feet. Was around like 10 weeks. That's what they determined. They did the ultrasound, and then they got a urine test, then pap smear and blood test, and that's all they did. They check everything. They do a thorough check. So that's your first appointment, and then after your first appointment, you'll have appointments every 4 weeks for like your first 2 trimesters, and the next few appointments are very quick, very boring. You just come in, they check the heartbeat, ask if there's anything different, and keep it pushing, basically. That's all they do. Check your blood pressure, check your weight. That's it, literally, that's it, and then you're out. So, and I was pretty disappointed that we don't get to see the baby. We don't get as many ultrasounds. I only got 2 ultrasounds so far. My first one and then my anatomy scan, which sucks because I really wanted to be able to see like the progressive growth of, you know, my child. And I just feel like that's something we should get a little more often. But what do I know? So let's get into the first trimester symptoms. So for me personally, I feel like I've been pretty lucky my whole pregnancy. Honestly, I have had a pretty smooth pregnancy. Now, the first trimester was the worst of them all so far, but I've heard of a lot worse. For me personally, I had food aversions, meat, anything that smelled too flavorful, I guess, too much, just smelled like a little too much, too strong. I couldn't eat. It was just meat, especially. I just was not really good with the meat, like not good at all. I just really needed like more bland foods. My appetite really wasn't there, honestly. I didn't have bad morning sickness, but I felt sick anytime I was hungry or ate too much. I would just feel sick, but I never really like threw up. So I wouldn't say I had bad morning sickness, but I definitely was like, ugh. I threw up maybe once or twice, nothing too crazy. To this day, milk, regular milk, disgusts me. I was over regular milk before I got pregnant, but since falling pregnant, it's a no-go. It makes me sick, like throw up sick. So still, I had cereal the other day and I just felt disgusting on the inside, and like sick disgusting. It wasn't like, oh, I'm drinking cow's milk, this is gross. It was like physically sick. So I had headaches. I had really bad headaches, extreme exhaustion. I was super tired. I lost my sweet tooth, and I think that was the first indication, like, well, you know the old wives' tales. I was having a gender reveal at 26 weeks, so I had a long time to go before I would find out what he is. So I was just all up in the old wives' tales. I lost my sweet tooth. I naturally have a sweet tooth, but in that first trimester, my sweet tooth was just gone, and I would just get candy because that was just part of my routine. Like, I was just like, you know, I like candy. But man, it would make my stomach hurt. I just wasn't me. I was not me. Sweets upset my stomach. But yep, so the first trimester lasts from week 1 to week 12, the end of week 12. And that pretty much sums up my first trimester. So now we're gonna bump into our second trimester. So your second trimester are weeks 13 to 26. And in this trimester is when you have your anatomy scan. So fun, at 21 weeks. That appointment is great. You get to see, that was only my second time seeing him. And this is when you find out the gender if you don't do the blood test to find out. But it was so fun. I had my mom and my husband with me when I did the anatomy scan, and it was like 30 minutes, and the ultrasound tech is just checking everything out, you know, making sure he has everything, or she. And we told her that we were gonna do a gender reveal, so if she could just put the gender in an envelope, and she told us when to look away. that would be great. So she did that. It was no issues with that. So I had no clue. And that was great. Your appointments are still every 4 weeks until 24 weeks. Then that's when it changes to every 2 weeks. And that's usually when you get your glucose test. But in my second trimester, my symptoms, oh my goodness, it's like you're brought back to life in your second trimester. It's like you died a little in your first, and then you're just revived in your second. You got that pregnancy glow. People were just like, oh, you're glowing, your skin, your hair, what else? Oh my goodness, that energy, your energy comes back full force. I mean, I was up, I was active, I still had headaches. You get your bump starts showing, so you're looking pregnant, but you're not super duper pregnant to the point where it's like tiring to move around. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not heavy. You're just like cute pregnant. You don't have to really wear the maternity clothes. I wasn't wearing maternity clothes. I stopped buying jeans. I would have, waistband pants. I would just throw those on, have me I show my belly. I was following Rihanna. I have my little crop top. I'd be like, yeah, I'm pregnant. Just so cute, so cute. Second trimester is amazing. It's fun. Now I did get hip and back pain because you have this new weight on you. Your hips are spreading to accommodate and the weight on your back. So that was something that I'd experienced. My pregnancy pillow. Oh, everything I mentioned is listed in the description box below. So my pregnancy pillow is one of them. I love my pregnancy pillow. I think I'm gonna use my pregnancy pillow even after I pop this baby out, because I love my pregnancy pillow. I got the Mom Cozy pregnancy pillow from Amazon. 10 out of 10 recommend. It comes in handy. Especially the bigger you get. Man, I can't sleep without it. I can't. Prenatal Pilates. I high key recommend taking or doing prenatal Pilates. I didn't even go to a studio or anything to do it. I would literally just get my little weights that I got from Target. I got, I think I was trying to be adventurous. I got like 3-pound weights. My little 3-pound weights from Target. I put on YouTube, Pregnancy and Postpartum TV. She has all these prenatal Pilates videos. I throw on one of her videos. I usually do like the 20-30 minute videos. And I did that like every day. It really helps with like getting your energy up and helps with the aches and pains, okay? That is true, because I am a lot bigger now than I was in my second trimester. And I don't have the back pain I used to have or the hip pain I used to have. And I'm bigger, so that, I think it helps a lot. And then also, apparently it helps just prepare your body for labor, because it's strengthening. You're doing a lot of exercises to strengthen your pelvic floor and stretch you out. And it's being mindful of the fact that your body is carrying. So, just trying to avoid that, the separation of your abs and all that stuff. So I definitely recommend it. Oh my goodness, this was a weird symptom. This just popped in my head. Another weird symptom I had was I turned the toilet seat blue. It was so strange. Now, mind you, this was before we were doing this was before we had our gender reveal. And so my mother-in-law, she had the gender, and we were like, the toilet seat is blue. And I'm like, that is so strange. we Googled it. It was like your hormones, like you could secrete some hormones and it turned the toilet seat blue. And they're like, and that usually means you're having a boy. I already had a feeling I was having a boy, but I was like, oh, I'm definitely having a boy. I'm having a boy. But yeah, so that was pretty interesting. That was very interesting, actually. But yeah, so that pretty much sums up my second trimester until we get to the glucose test. So you take your glucose test at 24 weeks, and what happens is you come in early in the morning, you don't eat anything prior to taking the test, you just drink water, and you'll be given this 50 gram, I'm thinking it's probably like 50 grams of sugar, like little drink, and you're supposed to drink it, and then an hour later they're gonna take your blood. So that's what they do, and then from there they determine if your levels were high. Then you would come back for a 3-hour test, and then you would take 100 gram, and then they would check your blood once every hour for 3 hours. If your blood was just super duper, if your blood sugar was just super duper high, then they will just diagnose you with gestational diabetes. Now, this is a common misconception with gestational diabetes. The common misconception is that it's your fault. It's my diet. I was eating too many sweets. I wasn't watching what I was eating. Blase, blase. False. Has nothing to do with that. No, it's your placenta. It's not you. You didn't eat too many candies and whatnot. It's just your placenta. Once your placenta is out of you, your body goes back to normal. Once your placenta is cut off from your baby's body will regulate itself, and your baby's not gonna have diabetes. And that's just what it is. Like, it's not you, it's your placenta. Nothing you could do to avoid it, honestly. But the unfortunate thing is, because you get diagnosed with it, you do have an increased chance of developing type 2 diabetes, so you'll have to get checked for that regularly. So it's important that you regulate your sugar with gestational diabetes, because all the sugar that your body doesn't use, it goes straight to the baby, and that's why you have an increased risk of having a bigger baby. So that's why it's really important that you regulate it, and also you have an increased chance of having a preterm labor. And yeah, so those are just things to keep in mind. The diet that they put you on is a low carb diet. So I thought you'd be watching your sugar, but no, you're gonna be watching your carbs. So for like breakfast, you can only have like 15 grams of carbs, and then lunch and dinner, it's like 45. Yeah, so one piece of bread is 15 grams. But you don't have to measure out your proteins or your vegetables. So you can eat as much of those as you want, but like your fruit, breads, things of that nature, you kind of have to measure out to make sure that you're staying within your means. But I thought when I was being instructed of this diet that I would be hungry. I was so scared I'd be hungry, but I really wasn't hungry. I wasn't that hungry. I ate a lot of protein. I ate a lot of peanut butter, but I wasn't that hungry. So, you know, it's doable. It's definitely doable. You won't be hungry. You'll accommodate to it. It's not bad. And along with that, you need to have protein with everything you eat. So if you're like, for a snack, I want an apple, you need to have like peanut butter or some nuts, cheese, something of that sort with it as well. So I got diagnosed with gestational diabetes after my 1 hour test, like they were like, oh, it's super duper high. But, and this goes to my care with this doctor's office, I was given the wrong dose for my 1 hour glucose test. I was given 100 grams for a 1 hour test versus the 50 grams for the 1 hour test. Like I said, the 100 grams is for the 3 hour test. So they just watched my sugar for 2 weeks, and then they were like, okay, well, if your sugar's still good for the next 2 weeks, then you could just forget about the diagnosis. I'm like, that's not nice. That was just, I'd rather they just retested me again. We've moved though, so I have a new doctor, but yeah, I was just very disappointed with that. Very, very disappointed. So we're going off to our 3rd trimester. Our 3rd trimester is 27 weeks to the end. And from here on out, you got your appointments every 2 weeks. And then you go to every 1 week. So this is when, you know, you went up, up, up. You was on your high horse in your 2nd trip, now it's coming down. You was on your high horse 2nd trimester, and now it's coming down. So you're tired. Well, me, I'm tired. I'm tired again. Out of breath, if you can't tell. I mean, walking from one room to the next, I'm like, I gotta sit down, I gotta breathe. I be out of breath. His movements are a lot more noticeable outwardly, and you feel them a lot more inwardly. Your energy levels are going down, which is interesting because this time when they're like, oh, you're nesting now, you're getting ready for the baby because the baby's around the corner, but you're so tired. So next time I do that in my 2nd trimester. But we were moving in my 3rd trimester. We'd moved from Oklahoma to Florida, so I couldn't really like set up the baby room until we got here. And I was 32 weeks when we got here. So yeah, Polo, stop. And leg cramps. Oh my goodness, I had like a leg cramp attack one night. I'm sleeping, and you know, you hit a little stretch while you sleep, and my leg just tightened up. And it's like a Charlie horse, and then like it would stop, and then it just come back. It kept coming and going like consistently, and I'm like, I felt like I was being attacked by Charlie horses. And the next day, like my leg was out of there, like it was like in so much pain the next day. I mean, I'd never experienced that prior to pregnancy. That was new to me. But yeah, my favorite trimester has been the 2nd. The 3rd one it's starting to just catch up to you that you're super pregnant. That's how it feels. I just feel super pregnant. It's starting to catch up to you. It's starting to get on your body. But, you know, like I said, I'm bigger now, but I don't have that hip and back pain. Except when I stand too long. Yeah, so, that is my breakdown of pregnancy so far. Like I said, this is my 1st pregnancy. I feel like I've been pretty blessed to have had such a smooth pregnancy for the most part. Even with my gestational diabetes diagnosis, I still feel like I've had a great pregnancy. I know it's not like this for everybody, and that's why I just feel extremely lucky. I feel like I could have a lot more, but it'll be a while before I have any more. But yeah, and I want to just discuss and go through this journey with other women and, you know, have a great time. So yeah, I hope you liked this video. I hope you found it informational, and if you did, I'd appreciate if you like, comment, and subscribe, and there will be new videos every single week. So see you later.